Hi, my name is Grace Miller, and today I'm going to be reading a book called Once Upon a Time. Once upon a time, in an old black castle, high on a jaggy, craggy mountain, there lived a young vampire named Dagmar. Dagmar was a gentle soul. He didn't do many vampire-y things. He never flew around or left the castle grounds. There was no need, because unlike other vampires, Dagmar was a vegetarian. At night, when the other vampires flew off to hunt, Dagmar tended to his moonlit vegetable patch. Unfortunately, his vegetables grew far slower than his appetite. But that was not a problem, because Dagmar had something else he loved to eat even more than carrots and squash. Behind a stone in the castle wall, he held a secret stash of candy. Once a year, Dagmar's ghost and monster friends would bring him a generous gift of treats. But it had been a long time since his last delivery, and now, when he reached into his stash, Dagmar found nothing but an old, stale gummy worm. Reluctantly, he ate it. Dagmar slumped in the corner of his garden. What good was life without candy? Just then, a little skeleton came by and asked what was wrong. "I've run out of candy," Dagmar moaned. The skeleton shrugged his bony shoulders. "I know where you can get a whole lot more," he said. Dagmar had to know. "There's this holiday tomorrow night," the skeleton said. "It's called Halloween. All the monsters go to town, and the humans hand out candy for free. But you have to wear a scary costume, I think." Dagmar wasn't sure. He'd never met a human before. Just the idea gave him the shivers. But then he thought of all the candy he could get, and he knew he had to be brave. So, Dagmar leapt into action. He asked his friends for some spooky costume ideas. "A puppy, he'll chew your bones," said the werewolf. "A kitty, she'll tie you up with yarn," added the mummy. "Butterflies have creepy wings," offered a moth. But none seemed right. None were scary enough. There was not much time. Dagmar would have to keep thinking. Dagmar told his parents what he planned to do. They were worried. He was such a sensitive little vamp. So they forbade him to go out on Halloween. Dagmar grew so upset that, for the first time since he was a baby, he turned into a bat and flew away. "I'm leaving. Forever," he yelled. Dagmar soared over the dark, sleepy town. "I'll never get a costume," he fretted. Dagmar quickly changed back into vampire form. But he was in such a hurry, he bumped right into a ghost. "Excuse me," it spoke. "I can't see very well." "It's okay," Dagmar said. "But could you tell me how to get candy?" And the ghost did just that. The two went from house to house saying the magic words, "Trick or treat." Each time, Dagmar followed the lead of his brave, ghostly friend. He hid his face behind his cape and stuck out his hand, shielding himself from any human glimpse. And each time, his courage was rewarded with a sweet. The night was long, and by the end, Dagmar's cape was stuffed full of candy. It was time to say goodnight. "By the way, I really like your costume," said his friend. But before Dagmar could explain, the ghost pulled off its sheet. It wasn't a ghost at all. It was a little girl with pigtails. A human! Dagmar let out a howl and ran as fast as he could. But the human chased him. She shouted his name. "Dagmar!" Dagmar was about to turn into a bat and fly away home when he heard the human cry, "Wait, you're dropping all your candy!" Dagmar looked behind him at the girl, and he saw a trail of treats scattered on the sidewalk. A human wanted to help him? "Oh," Dagmar said. "Thank you." "Why did you scream and run away?" the girl asked. "I thought I saw something scary," Dagmar said. Then he smiled at his new friend. "But I'm not afraid anymore." The girl smiled back, and together they gathered the candy and then said goodnight. Dagmar rushed back home. He dumped his candy on the floor, and he counted all the pieces. There was more than enough to last until next Halloween. Carefully, Dagmar arranged all his treats inside his secret stash. Then, just before the break of dawn, he brushed his fangs, dove into his coffin, closed his eyes, and started to dream of what could be. The end.